Hello and welcome back. I'm Bevo Joe and this is Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. Our little box-like setup over here does exactly what I needed to do. We are getting meat in and we actually have a little bit in store. We're currently low on grain, a little bit in that area, and we'll see if we need to fix that. But from the last brainwave that I had, there was one thing that's left over, and it was nuclear fuel. I would love to do it mostly based on ships. What exactly am I thinking? You may ask, and I'm glad you did. We have some we have some uranium available on that little island over there that is still far away, but once we have the city built, it's not completely out of the question that we can do something there. I don't know how much we're going to get out of it, but we have uranium ore available if we feel like it, and we could do this with just a just a ship moving some things around. We should probably look at this a little closer. There's a little bit more on the bigger island over here by the volcano, but yeah, there's some uranium sitting here right in front of us. So what I want to see is where do I even see the uranium setup? Is it all under power? I'm honestly I'm not sure. No, definitely not there. Definitely not there. Where are my resources? Miscellaneous? Nope. How about food? Definitely not food. Miscellaneous? You just looked at that. Nope, that's not where it is. Oil, coal, no. Aluminum, storage of steel, no. Advanced industry, engineering, nuclear, uranium mine. You would like to produce 75 tons of uranium ore, 0.75 tons of uranium ore for 100 workers, so we can get 75 tons of uranium ore plus a little extra out of this thing. Cool. You want to consume effectively one full mine full. Oh, no, two. You want to consume half of a mine. That is the math. Okay, half of that mine, and the rest we don't care about. 1.7 tons of uranium oxide is what we get out of this, and then this one can consume effectively that. So it's one of these, two of these so far, and then we have another one of these where it actually produces it. We have UF6 at 0.96 tons, and well, call it a ton, call it 1 ton, and we are trying to consume about half of that. Is that true? Yeah, we can produce at max 1 ton and we'll consume half. So we would have a 1 mine, 2, 2, 4 is the setup that we would be able to handle with this thing. Now, what is our source? 50%-ish, and we can probably put 2 of these mines on here, and we could consume or produce whatever we wanted. And then if we're clever, we probably want to put 2 of these out here, and this feels like a then we have hazardous waste. What are you going to do with hazardous waste? You're just going to burn it. You have to burn it right here. Could work. You have to put the ash somewhere. There is room. You have to do some. The waste is going to be a problem. Everything else I think we can handle, but the waste may be an issue worth considering. Okay, we can also do this by ships. I'm doing this. I'm not going to build this today, but I'm doing this so I can figure out how much of the nuclear anything I actually need on my other side. Is there an earthquake? Cool. Always wanted an earthquake. Utopia, yeah, you can figure it out. So yeah, we need 100 workers for this. That's a lot. We need 75 workers for this times 2. That is a lot, especially if we want to do this with helicopters. Then we need another 120 workers on this, but these 2 I'm definitely not going to have on that island. So potentially all we're going to do is produce uranium there, and the rest we can do somewhere else. I think that makes the most sense. Don't let the cinema burn down, because that will be really, really bad. So if we just bring uranium ore in, could be interesting. That could be very interesting. How much uranium ore do we want to store? Let's say in a month. Okay, that's a great question. And we need to store 36 tons a day. No, we're not going to max this out. 36 tons a day, which is 360 tons in 10 days, which times 3 is about 1,000 tons. 1,000 tons per uranium processing plant is what we need. And so 2,000 tons of uranium oxide, uranium ore. Okay, 2,000 tons, that's all we have to produce, that's all we have to move around. That feels like a medium-sized ship. Okay, but that's storage we need, so we don't need all that much. Okay, let's start planning. I think I'm gonna get the uranium ore from out there, but nothing else, and it's mostly related to I will have to deal with waste, I will have to deal with a lot of workers that I have to bring there, and 100 workers is already a lot for this thing, but one cableway could handle this. I just have to actually build the city out here, and that's not going to happen for a little while. So we're going to do all our processing somewhere else, and the somewhere else is going to be, I think, right here. Why right here? Because we have some room. There's all of this around St. Anton. We could also say out here, but there's more of a cliffside there. We have actual access to normal behavior right here, and that church may not actually survive. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, we could plop it right here. How many workers do you need? Oh, you need a ton of workers, but I feel like we have more than enough room in here to just plop another city in there. Effectively copying what we already did. This worker town will give us everything we need, and everyone is super happy, so that's good. And I don't think anyone is unemployed at the current time, which is grand. If you do this, you do probably want to handle a larger number of workers than what you're currently doing. Is that a metro? Is that a tram? How do you want to get your workers in here? They would come from here and just have to go across the thing. Okay. How many do you need? We already did this math, but there you go. We need 75 from the... I'm glad I'm here. It just jumped to 0 because our ships haven't exported anything in a little while, which is fine. Not fine, but we're doing all of this, so we are better off in the near future. So yeah, let's just get rid of all of these guys so we have a little bit of money in the bank, and there you go. Power is back on. Everyone can be happy. Great. Yeah, so we need 75 for this, so 150 plus 2 times this, another 140, let's call it 300 people, plus 4 of these if we feel like it, and 4 of these is effectively another 400 people, so we need 700 people coming in. That is 2 cableways. That is 2 cableways. That is doable. Okay, I really want to do this, and one of the things that I would love to do is export nuclear fuel by ship. With that, there's also the part of this Gdizno is capable of producing all the nuclear fuel we need in the Republic and some extra, which is wonderful. I hope you remember that ship exports are treated differently in the global market when they move something somewhere, so your prices should not collapse as much as they could if you use trains or trucks, but trucks are generally not fast enough in volume to move enough to move the needle on the monies. But I kind of like this idea. So if I get everything here, and I know that I'm going to get 2 uranium mines, I want to assume that I may not always have enough uranium mine ore produced. That is one of the only places that we have it. So in general, it's usually worth it to produce your own raw resources like uranium ore, because the money works out in most cases. And I do know the nuclear cycle, the nuclear industry chain is very worth it. So yeah, I'm planning on producing this, but I will import some if I have to, and that should also help our export prices when I import some of those things. So this guy just needs uranium ore. That's wonderful. That can be right next to it. That's great. And we already decided that we need about 2,000 per month. I'm assuming that I can move 1 ship in 1 month as my frequency. So 2,000 and a little extra. And then this one just needs that uranium oxide, which is in a container, and turns it into chemicals. That's fine. That's good. That's not turns it into chemicals. We need some chemicals to put on top of that, and then this one. Okay. The first things that I want to do is figure out my inn, and I can probably use trucks to move it to the export harbor, which would be over here. But let's figure out our imports first. And I want to do this cleverly. I would like to use 2 harbors that can unload aggregates. Why 2? I'm glad you ask. Yes, I should make some more t-shirts about that, shouldn't I? By the way, Bebo Joe has a store. Why haven't you bought anything yet? just curious. Just general curiosity. Are there any excavators here? I think there's some excavators there. So, because I generally don't have bulldozers in the area, excavators should be available. And all we're going to do here is just get another piece of harbor organized, and that will be wonderful and great and all those things. Aggregate unloading is what I actually want. Loading, unloading, loading, unloading. Unloading is the guy that I wanted. There, it's green. Cool. That's the first one coming in there. And the next one, I don't want too far away from it. And I show you why. Okay, what's going to happen here? The thing that's going to happen is I will have 2 storages. Okay, they can unload into 2 storages right away if they feel like it. And we're going to do it... well, I know that I need about 2,000 tons. This one is really close. This one is exactly on point for 2,000 tons. 2,500 tons actually makes me feel a lot better, so that's what we're going to go with, and your road connection is already on a better side. So yes, I would like you to effectively be over here, kind of out of the way, but kind of not. We'll see how this works out when we're done with it. But we're going to have one that brings in our stuff, and if you can go up here, I would appreciate that. If you can connect to something over on this side, that's great. And then you probably just have to go to the road right there. Cool. That's the first one. This is going to be our... I'm going to name it right away, because by the time I get here and everything is done, I will forget everything that I thought about so far. So that's super. This is going to be border import uranium ore. Cool. That comes in here. I'm realizing that I probably am slowing down my trains over here, so let me just tell them what they're supposed to do. Yes, you're causing trouble because this guy can't enter the area. And currently there's one thing missing. One major thing, which is... Why are you... Oh, you're a plastic train. Okay, that's good. This thing is missing. It looks like it may have a vehicle coming in. I hope it is this vehicle that is currently sitting right here. Perfect. Because yeah, this whole way back is not fully done yet. And it's going to take a little while until that gets done. And once that is done, the rare construction cranes can move by themselves again. But for right now, they're dependent on me telling them how to get home, which is just a magic trick. Okay, yeah, you can start building this. I would like my helicopters to not go here, but that's fine. I would like them to concentrate on the bauxite setup, but that's moving, so that should be okay. So that's the first one. Uranium oxide comes in there. It will be very expensive to import it the first few times, I get that, but once we are getting the nuclear fuel money coming out in, it shouldn't be really a problem anymore. So let's do that. We're going to put the same storage type thing on the other side, and you have to decide where you're going to have your roads run. I think it makes more sense to have the road on this thing on the other side. Can you just take your stuff home? There's a mechanism here. If I click Control H, you get disappeared. Great. Sorry. Unloading again. Yes, and the game is already laggy because like you're moving all these goods by helicopters. Are you sure you meant to do that? And I'm like, yeah, probably. And then it's just like there's too much connection going on here and too many things moving around, so I don't really want to play this one this way. But I'm making it anyways. Rotate, rotate. There you go. And there you go. Right there. Good enough. Why did I do all of this? I will show you. And I can hopefully probably show you if I go to any of our normal conveyor engines, and this one is going this way. You can use priorities with these things, which means as long as I have internal stuff, internal material sitting there, I can churn through that until I need to even touch my export. So I'm just doing both of these things so I can do the next part. The next part is going to be a conveyor that collects from 2 sources and spits it out into one. Looks something like this. Let's make a little more extra room, honestly. I will probably need all the room that I can get, so it's take you far enough back, but that's not going to be a problem. And now I have the choice. Do you actually have the choice with those? I think I have the choice with those conveyor types as well, but let's triple check that. I have a couple built over here already, probably. Not that one, obviously. None of those. I did decide that I'm going to deliver fuel with pipes to the ships versus delivering them with trucks from somewhere else. So hopefully that makes life a little easier. But there we go. We have one. Yes, I can use priorities on one of these as well, which is all I wanted to see. So that is good. And construction, offices, do your thing. We're getting so close, and I have started moving some of the excavators in. And power is also connected now. Sorry, I think I did that without you guys, but just a couple power pylons going in there. This is the switch for one power pylon. It's not connected yet to the main network or anything else. I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I probably will. But yes, we know now that our conveyor engines have the connections that we require and work the way that we desire. Therefore, we can go down here and now feed everything into one extra storage. Okay, great. The extra storage that I want, I think I'm just going to do the long one, because the long one often gives me the best connections afterwards. So let's point you a little bit at an angle here, because I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to get everything together yet, but I think it will be super no matter what I do. I'm trying to press my button for my keys, but the game is just like, there's too many helicopters, buddy. I don't know what you want me to do. Cool. Where are we? We are here, Advanced Industries, and we have to turn our uranium processing plants on. We did the math. We just need 2 of these to fuel 2 and 4 of these. So let's do that. We do have to worry about a little about getting workers in, but it should be okay. So you get your stuff from whatever side you want, and all you need is uranium ore. Wonderful. With that in mind, I will probably put you towards the end of this whole shebang. Something like this is probably more than appropriate. So plop you there and plop you here after I flip you around. The connection is right behind those trees, so it's harder to see, but this looks fine. Okay, uranium ore comes in here from 2 different ships that will always be unloaded, and we should be able to run this forever. Because we import part of that. So that is all good news. Let's give these guys just a generic connection so we don't forget about them, and then give them some way of actually doing the next piece. So what did we say here? You're producing 1.7 tons. You want to get 2 tons of uranium oxide, which that really just translates to, okay, you're just going to continue from here directly, and you require some chemicals, don't you? You do need barely any, but you do need chemicals. So you can come in here, get a factory connection on that side. You would just flip over here and get the same factory connection on the other side, and hopefully this is a semi-straight line. Yeah, we can call that a semi-straight line. I think that's good. So uranium oxide goes in there. Great. How are we going to get our chemicals in here? Great question. Let's look at our options. We just need 0.21 tons, and we can store 18 days? No, that's just half. We can store several days worth of chemicals in one thing, so that's good. We don't really need an extra storage then, because this is almost 10 days? No, what? 10 days is 2 tons. So 50 days. We can store enough chemicals here for 50 days. I don't think we need any extra storage. That's what I wanted to know. We have 3 loading and unloading spots. I think that means we will always be able to get 1 truck in here, so there's no extra loading, unloading required on this side. Good to know. And you turn it into UF6, and you get me 96 tons of them. One of these requires just half of that, which means we can just set these up with the next trick. Let's see. The factory connection that this gives me is not quite the way that I wanted it to be, which is a little bit unfortunate, but let's see what we can do here. There are a lot of factory connections that we have available, and I may just have to rotate the other things, but let's see. If you would go here, let's just play this out. If you would go here, and you would go somewhere here, you cannot angle you the right way unless you point them this way, and then they both have the same source, or the same source of workers at least. That is not awful. That is not actually the worst thing that I could have done there. Get your road connection somewhere over here. So far so good still. Don't hate it. Don't hate goes a long way every once in a while. And we still have a chance. We still have a chance to have a worker like hub right in the middle, because we can go over and under these factory connections relatively easy. So all of these things feel very plausible so far. Let's pull this in just a little bit. Get your road connections in there. I think you should make this more symmetric. Okay, let's make it more symmetric. All we were really missing is we were connecting to the top factory connection, not the bottom one, on the processing plant, and that should be good. And I'm doing this mostly so I can access that road connection before we're done with all of this. This one really just has a single connection coming in. Yeah, this looks like it's almost doing the same thing. And then, of course, the leftover church didn't have to be destroyed yet, which I kind of like that idea to not have to destroy it. So we'll see where we end up when we're done. I am trying here to not build into all my space too much. So let's see what we can keep here. And I really think a simple hub in the middle here could do everything we need to do, which also is relatively exciting. You would go... No, don't do it yet. Don't do the circle road either. No. Why? Because we need to be able to actually pick up from here and drop off from here. Now, I don't have any factory connections connecting in the middle here because that would have been a nice cargo hold. I don't know that there's a good way to connect those things, so probably not going to be the thing that we play with. I'm looking for parking spots. This one also has 3 parking spots. It only has enough chemicals for really 9 days, maybe 10 days, which reduces that flexibility a little bit. So they need some warehouse support. Okay, you could plop in a bunch of warehouses because they all have cargo connections in multiple places that could feed into these guys, and they could also feed into that guy. 10 days is still quite a bit. Even for trucks when things happen there, so I'm not sure that has to happen, but interesting. Also, this town is going to be your go-away town because the pollution that comes from these guys I don't think is as minor as I'm playing it out to be. Just two clouds, 3.5 clouds, but at least this one we have less, and the closest one is right here. We may be okay. And it's already a highly polluted area anyways. Our money is going down, if you haven't noticed. I need to see what I can see. You can't actually go home. Okay, that's fine. You have to go home. Go home. Control H. Thank you. You have to get in here and do whatever you need to do, and then I need these. There's fuel missing. How is there fuel missing out there? I don't like that at all. You need to be high priority because I need that done. And then I see these guys. Yes, we're not importing or exporting fuel because we have no fuel here. That is very scary. Do we have fuel here? None there, none there, none here, none here. Okay, you know what this is from? This is from using my helicopters for absolutely everything. Because this thing is probably almost always empty when our fuel tanker is trying to do something, and then the fuel train comes in here and just picks up all the things that are available, which is not always super helpful. Where is my fuel tanker currently? Because that could help the situation a little bit. Harbor. Maybe this one? Are you heading this way? You at the repair station. Okay. Which is sitting over here. Can you just go to the refinery and get back to delivering a little bit of fuel for all the things that we need? Is this one the right pumping harbor that I'm thinking of? Nope, that's over there. Is this one the other one? The international importer? Yes. Okay, so that ship should just go and hopefully refuel us relatively quickly. But yeah, all the helicopters doing all the things does cost a lot of fuel very often. So how about we just cancel construction on all of these sites for you guys, because I would like to save a little bit of fuel if we can. Okay, what have we come to a conclusion here? We have come to the conclusion that there is no good factory connection right here, and I am semi-interested in utilizing the factory connections that we have on the outside here to get a little less traffic and a little more industrial things going, moving, but I'm not sure that that's gonna work. I think you're gonna be better off just delivering with 2 chemical trucks consistently all the time than not delivering them at all, so I guess that's what we're gonna do. And what else do you need? The other thing that you need, did you guys pick up construction again because I didn't fully cancel it? Yes, you did. Cancel all plans? No. Start all plans? Yes. And then cancel all construction in this area until I'm ready for you to actually waste your fuel on this. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to deliver chemicals with a distribution office. Easy enough. And it's going to be mostly chemicals. We need like 1 ton of chemical times 4. No, times... These together are 1 ton, and now we are at almost 1.5 tons, right? Yes, so 1.5 tons plus 0.2 tons. Let's call it, we need 2 tons of chemicals a day to come in here. They have to be transported. If I speak of it that way, we really just need 6 covered holds here. We're out of money again. How's that happening? Where is my stuff? Come here. You, ships, get out of here. How much money do you have hoarded? You have 86 million. Yes, please go export, make me money. How much money do you have hoarded? 28 million. That's not really worth it, so you can stay wherever you are. People are not hating me yet, and I have a lot more money to go. I just feel like I may have walked into a price spike of some things. I don't know what they are, but it feels like that's what... Who is importing right now? Taking 20 million like it's nothing. Seriously, who's sitting at the border? Let's see. Today, right now, export of resources. That's an entirely wrong button. Import of resources. Oh, you're getting electronics. Most probably. Because that would do that very easily. Okay, where's my electronics ship? I don't know where it is, but what's going on over here? Mechanical components is full. That's exciting. That one looks fine. We have probably barely any electronics sitting anywhere. 20 tons of electronics is not that bad. Then some chemicals sitting out there too. I don't want to blindly just throw money at this, but this should just be a temporary issue where we have a couple people taking all our money. Now we can also say that this is interest, but looking at this, we have a few billions that we can take out, and these are all taken out with the minimum interest rate, so we should be able to pay them back within the year, honestly. I mean, amount due tomorrow, no. Amount due is 10 million a day. And we can totally make that happen, but we are running into a situation where we probably don't have that much money to waste anymore. So now I have to go look. How close are we here? We are getting closer. The power is done. No, almost done. Yeah, we could start turning on a couple things here. That's exciting. I think something that I should do, unless this one is already in range of the... yes, it is. It is in range of this guy, because I needed the cableway station to run independently of the power plant over here. And looks like we do have that available, which is nice. I want to do the nuclear thing, but I also need all of this to start producing ASAP, at least this island over here. If this one can produce and I have some raw bauxite sitting there, that is a big win. Can you make this a high priority item? Please talk to our construction office group 9, assign construction mode, and get that one done. That would be super. I'm not sure that they're doing anything else right now, so may as well get them involved in all the shebangs over here. Yeah, the fuel just has to be added there, and then we're pretty much done getting all of this set up. There's so many vehicles that I need in this area. Let's go look at our current situation. Yeah, I'm paused because I'm a little scared. Some covered holds, that is good. Here are the excavators that I have produced for the area up here, and it looks like we only have a few more left. I think I did 50. What did I do? 46 plus 5. Yeah, so about 50. Let's get you to where you need to go. Some more room here. Yes, they weren't all full yet, but I do need them all full. Then one cool thing about the vehicle production line is they don't care how many parking spots they have. They throw all their vehicles onto the parking spot once you click this button, not like the vehicle storages that only let you do this. I guess we're out of all the all the excavators that we had. But on the normal vehicle storages, you can only send one at a time or two, depending on how many parking spots you have open, which is most of the time not enough. So that was That was a little interesting, I thought. We have those guys sitting here, that's good. We have some power sitting here, that is also good. We have some fuel coming in here, that's excellent because this distribution office is set up for all of the places that need direct fuel access. Besides, did I miss one? Yes, there's one that didn't have an access yet because it wasn't built. But now, yeah, the fuel is really just being distributed there, which is excellent. We have some nuclear fuel. Oh, this is the other problem, why money is low. I'm filling up this guy with nuclear fuel. And that is money that I don't get paid for right now. So that's probably not helping immensely, but I think we'll be okay. You're going through there. How many more excavators do I need? Just a few. You just need a bunch of garbage trucks now. Okay, garbage trucks and snow plows. I have clicked buttons to organize them, so let's get distracted here really quick. It looks so cool that this was full with excavators and now I just used all of them. That's excellent. You're doing the big garbage trucks, but you are not having as many in store as I would like. There's a cistern sitting here. There's a ton of... Yeah, there's 30 more that I want to produce, but it feels like most of them are getting... And I don't have them exported. Most of them are just getting yanked out because people want to get replacements. That's unfortunate, but it is the way it is. And I feel strongly that I think I can just move all of these out of the way. So then later on, let's just put you right here. Later on, I can just use the garbage trucks that are being produced right now for... Why is the snowplow being moved? Okay, the garbage trucks all at once instead of having a mixed consist there, and they can actually go to the correct distribution offices where I need them. That'll be exciting. Cool. That looks fine. There are a couple buses here. I did move a couple vehicles over there. There are some of these out and about. I don't really want to get rid of you. And getting a better setup for all of this in terms of better replacement options will happen very soon, just not quite yet. We have to stabilize our money before we can do anything in that realm. Let's get me a couple buses, please. Where do you want them? They will be for the bauxite mine, so I can honestly just send all of this up here. Should he produce some gondolas? Absolutely, I should. So let's get those figured out, because they have to be produced as well. Where am I sending you? I'm sending you right here. Go back to you. Then go look at a construction zone. This one, you're doing the excavators right now, and I think after you're done with all the excavators, you don't have to produce more. I would like a couple gondolas. Gondola. What is it? Trolley bus? No. It was named something, and it's possible that I have to produce some passenger cabins. There we go. How many do you want? Maybe 20. 15 is probably enough. It's a very short line. We don't need a lot of these, but we also need a bunch of open hulls. So let's find those. Water, refrigerator, pattern, bulldozer, covered hull. Open hull, where are you? Just at the bottom. You just didn't look there. Give me like 15 of these as well. And we can just put them right behind there and hopefully start moving them when it becomes appropriate. Okay. With all of those being built, excuse me, game. We can get back to nuclear, I think. Unless the... Oh, looks like they actually figured out how to complete that part of the track. Which is excellent, because now all these trains should be able to find their way home. All by themselves, which is all I wanted them to do always, ever. Let's help you really quick. Pick up a couple more construction sites. Can't do there yet, can't do there yet, can't do there. Can you do here? Can you do anything useful? Nope. Cannot reach most of those places. But that's fine. We'll just do the things that are needed, and you will figure it out from there. Yeah. Get as many assigned as you humanly can, and we should be very happy about that. Cool. They will figure out where they have to go. I'm not terribly worried about that part. And we have a little bit of money in the bank. We have to pay a lot of interest, but let's move on. Let's keep on going, because we still have to build a city after this. It will be a simple city. I am very tempted to just copy this whole thing But let's see how things come out and turn out. Yes, so this is nuclear fuel. Great. We are at the end of the production chain. It was advanced industries, and I should do the math again on how many we need here, but I think we have everything we wanted. We do need a good amount of power, but we should have more than enough power available on this island. So it's just 4.2, like a power line of 4.2 per thing. That maps out to something not that small. Here's a trick. You can always look at the circuit breaker of what it... Oh, that's per day. The circuit breaker tells you how much power you may have to feed in here, and then there's also max power consumption per day, which is 66 megawatts, where this one's only saying 42 megawatt of power. I don't know why they're not cooperating, but what I really need is a circuit breaker to be right, and it's 1.1 kilowatts. Okay, 1.1 kilowatts translates to the electricity over here of, this is 14 megawatts, so 1.1 megawatts for each of these is not a problem. It is a problem because each of the substations can only handle up to, and you can't see it there, so I have to go over here. I think it's 2.4, potentially what it is. There you go. The substation can handle, technically it says 2.5 megawatts, but the biggest medium wire can only handle 2.35. So we need one substation for each two of these to run at 100%, if that is what we're desiring to do, and I don't see a reason why we wouldn't do that. So keep that in mind. We need two substations. Well, two of these refineries per thing. That's the first one. So we need two substations for that. Cool. 1100 kilowatts. This one has another 1200 kilowatts, so we need 1, 2, 3 substations to run this whole thing. That's not the end of the world at all, so that sounds fine. And we're going to do that later. We still need water and sewage and all that stuff. That's not hard, and I don't think we need any extra water. All we need is a way to get some chemicals in here, and the best way to do that is via train. We do have the train line going all the way over here. There's not really often anything happening at the customs house, so I feel pretty confident that we can just splice in there. Where are we going to store plastic, though? My favorite spot would probably be here, splicing out to that side, having a plastic storage in this area, so let's do that. Trains, yes. I think I'm just going to go with a single warehouse with train access, which is this one. Do any of the other ones have train access? No, I don't think so. So we're just going to go with the old vanilla, 195 tons of chemicals. That sounds like a lot. That's a pretty good amount. Plop that somewhere where we can reach it. Let's upgrade it to electrified rail right away. It may take a minute longer, but it means that our train construction office can be a little more independent. Take this back just a bit. Actually, take it all back. Do it again. This time just connect right away, and then you don't have to mingle with what the angle needs to be and all that stuff. There you go. You come in here, and then ideally you would go out this way, but there's too much road going on, probably, I can already tell. So you would have to go with the road for just a little while, and then into our friend over here. I would like to go in there. Well, remove the node. Try again, and then it's probably gonna just work. Not like that, though. There you go. It's still behind where the node was. But this is fine because now we have a very simple, easy access spot for the trains to do their thing. And that should be worth it. Let's talk to our singular rail construction office while keeping an eye on the money. I think we only have this one. Did we ever build one in Boo Boo? I don't see one, and I wouldn't know a reason why we would have to do that, because there's not that much rail construction going on here in general. So this should be just sufficient. I just have to tell them what to do, and then they should be able to figure it out. Go there, and go there. I don't think we have lights in the way of any of these things. There's one in the middle. We may as well remove that now, because that will cause trouble down the road. Cool. Yeah, just do the construction. You do fine, I'm sure. Helicopter, stop constructing that. They already started, so just let them finish. But this will be for chemicals. Cool. So when chemicals come in, I would like a distribution office that handles whatever comes in here. And probably on this side, because I'm going to have a cargo station connected right next door. There is a potential for 6 or so places needing chemicals ASAP. So I guess we're going to plop this one here, which means the distribution office is a little bit out of the way. Okay, gotta think about this a little bit. This is a little tighter than what I wanted it to be, but I think we'll be fine. I would like to have the trucks that come out of the distribution office not interfere with each other, which means stay on the right side of wherever you're going. So let's make a fake road that just goes down here by the church, down there. That looks great. Get your access, and then you can go right here. That looks great. Then this will be the access road for most of the things. And honestly, that should just be the straight road, because most of the time you're going out there. Sometimes you will go down here. So let's do this. Get you a reasonable connection there. That's fine. Get you a semi-reasonable connection here. That's fine. Get you out and just make this a connection. Thank you. And then out here, I'm going to do the thing that I always do, which is just give yourself a little bit, always do is a big word here because I really don't. Give yourself a little more wiggle room for the vehicles to drive fast. That looks fine. Everything should be connected. Now this guy can just go out here, stay on the right side of the road, pick up whatever they want, and then start working in that spot. All of that feels like they're doing what they need to do. We have this road that's currently not connected to anything. No problem. Let's get that one unified with something. There you go. You can go out there. There's a little bit more road here, and you didn't actually end up needing this road piece. True. Should you replace it with a normal conveyor then? Yeah, let's replace it with a normal conveyor then. Feels like you already delivered too much stuff. Suspend demolition. You. It was already kind of built, which is what I didn't want, but now it did it anyway. So there you go. I should have looked at that first, because this is a lot of construction material already here, and you're already 60% done with the thing. So that was worthless, but I cannot cancel construction anymore. So that's annoying. Very annoying. Fine. Whatever. Do your thing. Okay. How many people do you need? That's what I have to note down now. Let's go through the numbers again for the 5th time today. We need 120 people times 4. Call it 480. Call it 500 people, actually. Otherwise, you're going to underestimate. So 500 people for this. This is going to be a big town, isn't it? I don't know that I can handle that. 500 people for this. Got it. I need another 240. So call it, we're now at 700. 750 maybe even. Then another 150. So 750. We're now at 900. And we don't need this one. So 900 people coming in per shift. That is 3 cableway connections, which could actually work here. That could totally work here. A long time ago, I did a steel city that was near a mountain, and I just had everyone kind of go out there with cableways, and that worked. That totally did the thing that I wanted it to do. It was just a little awkward. So let's look at this. If we use a small cableway station here, you clearly are connecting to everything. Maybe I'll just plop this down and see how I hate it. You would cover everything over here, even without getting fancy road connections. That's interesting. That's the first one. This one would cover all the middle ones. And once we give you fancy road connections, you can probably even cover more than that. So 2 and 3. I would like this one. Can't quite see what it connects to, but I'm pretty sure it connects to this one, this one. I would like that one to connect to this refinery place over here as well, but this technically gives us everything we need. Practically, it has the connections in the wrong direction. So now that I know what we can do with this, I may consider doing this anyway. So you would go here, We need some footpath connections anywhere, everywhere anyway, so this one should be fine. Hope the church doesn't mind a new neighbor, and then you would go here, road connection. I just wanted to keep it close to this. Okay, there are 3 cableway connections. We could use that. What are alternatives? And I knew the cableways with large cabins can do exactly 900 people per shift, so that is the number that we need here, and it would run this forever. With 900 people per shift, how many workers do you need? I'm waiting. We need at least 2,700 workers just to fill all of this, keep all of this filled. On top of that, probably add 1,000 for utilities. So we need 3,500 to 4,000 people. That, I think, I'm pretty confident we can just fit in here. We will just have to use higher density housing, which is not the end of the world. Are you guys actually... We have trash here. We can use these guys for transporting whatever we need. We have this here that is our distribution office, which we can probably also use. We also already have this transfer station sitting over here. So yeah, I think we can use most of the open utilities that we already have sitting here. The only thing that we need to add is just a normal public stuff. Why do you not have power? Because we don't have money. I can't believe we're out of that again. Ah! You can't. I cannot start planning a city if we don't have money for the thing that I've already planned. But okay, I'm glad I clicked on that. It's much easier to see at night, don't you agree? At least we're down from 250 million that we had earlier to like 120 or whatever it was. 130, about 130. But that's not great. What can I export? I think I have potential for exporting some meat if I wanted to. The potential. It doesn't mean that we have to do that right now. But what else can I export? I need bauxite to actually turn on because that is just money in the bank right away. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Some more things that I can highlight in green would be super. Give me those. Not that one. Not that one, obviously. Looks like that side is done. You can go here. Yeah, you have to help them a little bit at this point because they're just confused all the time. Go there, go through here. Sure, whatever. Out of money again. You stop it. Stop spending it all. I just had 100 million in the bank, and I just spend it. We're not doing that hot. I mean, there is a thing. I guess I have decreased my vehicle output currently. That would be true. How much do you have sitting here? 41 million. That's better than nothing. But yeah, I have decreased my vehicle output because I have turned 2 factories into productions versus doing anything else with them. And that is not helping right now. That is certainly not doing me any favors. Those are cabins. Cool. They already produced all the cabins that I wanted. That's great. Can you move everyone from here? And it looks like... Oh, there's just 3, but that's a good enough start for what I need to do. Get you over here. Get my waste trucks out here, because without the waste trucks, I can't really turn on bauxite at all, even if they would be ready. So get you here. Sure, we're going to throw everything in there, and it's mostly going to be garbage trucks. That's great. What are you guys waiting on? You need power. How do you still need power? Oh, because power is not actually turned on yet on this part. That makes sense, but you are on. You just don't have drinking water. Okay. Underground water connection. I don't have drinking water. I have water right here. I have... This is drinking water. I had to triple check, like, what the heck is going on here? But that is drinking water. Okay, that's good. We have 26 million in the bank, but I think everything is built, right? Construction office. Do you have any option to connect or to build anything else? No. Okay. That's my focus now. Pause. Don't pause. Yeah, pause. We have nuclear fuel here. Great. We have everything kind of hooked up. We just don't have water yet. Let's get the water and the sewage connected. Do you have a sewage connection at all? No, you don't. You don't have a water connection either. This is something which we could totally use our trucks for, but why bother? I want, like, the water and sewage trucks could totally do something useful here, but I think we'll be okay. I think I'm going to put you there. Can you get a footpath connection here? Yes, you can. Get me the smallest pipe that you can muster and get in here. Cool. A little longer than I wanted to go, but it's fine. You have extra sewage output. You do have sewage export that I have to worry about. Okay, I'm glad I looked at that, because now I can say, okay, instead of doing this with the smallest pipe possible, how about you use an extra large pipe and run that one down the hill. I just need a sewage switch somewhere in this area, and maybe this works. Otherwise, I'll just dump this straight in front of the unit. I don't mind that at all either. But let's get something here. Okay, this looks a little unconventional, but trust me, I know what I'm doing. Sure. Get a large pipe running over here. That should not cause any trouble. Requires proper slope. I said should not require any trouble. Well, you're just going to feed right into there then. That's a large pipe. Will take extra long to build, but that's okay. And then a medium pipe should be enough for this thing. As long as you want to connect to that, which you don't. You don't want to connect to that. You've got it. All right. This is the cooling pond. No, this is the cooling pond. Sure, this is the cooling pond. Why not? Undo that. Get me... Try not to destroy everything. Get me this one. Get me this one. You can probably go to the other side now, because you're going to be part of the... whatever we're doing over here. Okay. Waste. Where's my waste? Waste. Not that waste. You needed sewage. Okay. Good try, though. We'll just plop another one in here. The connections are already fine. You're going to put that right here, and then we can pretend that this is just our standard, totally included waste processing for things like nuclear power plants, because that's what we're doing. Put a little shore in here. People can go fishing if they really feel like it, during their free time. You never know what you find in the water. Could be exciting, could be dangerous, could be both. And then you go there. And then, oh, come on. Just let me, oh, there we go. You did it. Proud of you. F4 footpath. Why does it have to be graveled? It does not have to be graveled. Just make a dirt path so we can call this done. Cool. It's not like a gravel path takes that long to build. That looks fine. And I will just... How much water are you going to produce a day? You have 7.10 tons of water at production. So honestly, the smallest pipe is totally sufficient here for... getting sewage out from there. F3 so I can actually see it. Then give me a sewage tank that can collect whatever you need to collect from here. Also, smallest pipe goes right into there. That looks good. And then you said 7.7 cubic meters of water. Okay, what is your minimum quality? That's not telling me that right there. Let's look at electricity. Let's look at this one. You need 60% water quality. Okay, that tells me I can use the water that comes from over here. It's a little bit out of the way, but that's okay. You're splitting it into those things right away. That's lame. There's just one thing over... There's no water reservoir. Okay, get yourself your own water tower. How much is in here? 70 cubic meters. That's not a ton. For a power plant to run for continuously if the power ever goes out. So this is what we're going to do instead. Another dirt path. Get me a medium pipe. The medium pipe can connect to that pump over here. Someone tell me that this is not enough water production for this, for the stuff that we have planned here. Because I honestly, I'm not sure. I think it will be fine, but I have been wrong once or twice before. So this could be bad, but this is just production water. Very important. I could have also put... Can I put a water well right next door? I think I could. Well, doesn't matter. This is also good for when this thing catches on fire, which it will, to have continuous water supply going down there. So those are all good things. And then we just need one more to actually supply normal water to this area. So water substation. Plop you here. We'll flip you around because road connection. There you go. That looks fine. And get you some actual water. Where can we get some? This. That's your only water connection from here that is clean water that comes from the city. All right. Let's get another water switch. I thought I had all of this done. It would have been nice, but honestly, by the time this all gets built, the vehicles may have just arrived that we needed here, so not terribly worried about it. Let's have you go out there. Over here, this is just the smallest pipe. The smallest pipe is stupid in this situation because you may need to use this for other things. I'm trying to remove you. Let me... There we go. Just in case there's some other need for water that I forgot, which is not impossible. I mean, you know me. So let's see what we can do here. You don't want to just connect there. There's a nice system of waterways down here, which is excellent. And then you just run across the river here. We don't need a water tower for this thing, I think. I think we'll be safe. Get you organized there. Helicopters, this is your job, mostly, because everyone else can figure out the other things. So you guys go there. That looks fine. You go here. Construction office 2, if you don't mind to come out here, that's also fine. Everyone can help a little bit. And then number 5, you're honestly too far away, so I don't actually want you. Okay, that should take care of that part. Yeah, I'm very happy with how the nuclear fuel thing looks, but if I can't even plan the city, it's not going to take that long to build. If I can't plan the city and I don't currently have money for this, then let's just do the bare minimum and see where that takes us. There's one thing that you're missing here, which I should probably do. No, get the damn nuclear fuel going. So you can get all these things, get them ready down the road. So I know that I sent a couple of these covered holds out, but obviously they've already decided to no longer be part of the shebang, which is great. I want you to come out here after you refuel and pick up cableways, tower crane, sewage, sewing, tram, food, crop, waste, cistern, prefabs. There's no search in here, so it's not super helpful. Let's see if I can actually find it without skipping over it, which is not a guarantee. There they were. I saw them. I think I'm looking for this heavy personnel cabin. Great. Yeah, go refuel. Do all your things. That'll be great. And I want you to unload that into our cableway station all the way out here. Not there, not there, not there, but there. Unload into here and wait until unloaded so I know when it's actually full. Go. Cool. Good job. Proud of you. 118 million in the bank. Also proud of me myself for that. Good job. Well done. You can become our nuclear fuel transporter. So you would go over here. Same thing. All the way up to our plant. Thank you very much. Then I would have you go here, load, and unload here. Very good. You can wait until unloaded if you feel like it. That would be great. All right. The next thing, we need a truck that can actually do the opposite of that. So let's see if we can find that really quick. Well, you're just driving there. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. When is the next one done? Couple more percentage points. Actually, no, there's one hiding right here. Perfect. You come out here. You will be our nuclear waste transporter and nothing else. The storages out there are already set up in a way that it shouldn't require me to specify anything else from what they can and can't do, so that should be okay. I want you to go here, load, wait until loaded, and bring stuff down here and wait until you unload. Good job. Okay, that should be good. We've got a lot of trucks driving around here. That's all just construction, so that is happening. We have a ton of these guys already available. That is good. I think we have no power because everything is kind of turned off. So yeah, once we can get the first people in here, once all of these things, no cooling towers are connected. Of course not. I'm glad I just read that before hoping I can turn something on, but this will be fine. You obviously just go straight in there, and you would go straight out here, but do the other way. Doing mouse gymnastics here. There you go. That's nice and smooth. You can build that. Construction office number 4. Please do your best to get that stuff done. And okay, yeah, it's really just this guy. that has to get done, and once that guy is done, we can turn the power on. Once we can turn the power on, everything else can run, and that'll be exciting. All we really need is like 5 people in here, and then we have some power. Should you put some more... I mean, you could just put a very simple windmill out here, which we've built now 50 of the last couple episodes, and say, yeah, we have power and we can actually start producing, which we could, but who does that? Who does that anyways? More of those dump trucks. That's interesting. I want a couple more excavators. Can you get me a couple more, please? Not just 3. I think I want more than 3 more, but that may be a starting point. What else do you need? I don't remember. I will stick around and click a couple buttons to make sure that the things can actually be turned on, and then at the beginning of next episode, I'm hoping that we have all of this running and we can maybe afford... Well, afford is a strong word. We can maybe use some of the ships that we already have to then turn the things on and start making a little bit of money, because that is absolutely the next part of this phase. Do we have some chemicals delivered out here yet? Nope, we do not. Alright, well, we have to do that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.